Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So continuing the series of videos on Kubernetes, today in this video I will show you how to create a local Kubernetes cluster using Kind. Kind is Kubernetes in Docker and deploy your first pod in just few minutes. So as you can see, I am in my terminal here. So I am using a Mac operating system here. So for Kind, first you need to install the Brew homebrew in your Mac OS. So let me verify the brew hyphen version. It's there. It's already there. So if you are using Windows, I will share the commands for this, including Windows and for Mac operating system in the description. So as of now, we will go with the Mac OS. So you should be having Docker in your operating system in your Mac OS. So as you can see, Docker hyphen version. Docker is also already installed and is been working fine. So with that, you need kubectl installed in your local. So you need three things: Brew, Docker, and kubectl for installing the Kind cluster. So as you can see, I am also having the kubectl. If you don't have any of these things, I will share the commands in the description how to install all these things. So now we will start with uh, creating the Kind cluster. We will spin the Kind cluster locally. So first what I will do, I will give the command brew install Kind. Basically, Kind is Kubernetes in Docker. So Kind will run a cluster locally without using the cloud resources, let's say EC2 or any virtual machine. So you can run your cluster locally and you can do practice for Kubernetes. So Kind hyphen version, as you can see, Kind is also there and running. So let me start with the command to create the cluster using Kind. So the command is kind create cluster. So Kind create cluster hyphen name of the cluster what you are trying to view it. So this will create a cluster locally. So name demo cluster. So before that, this will create only single node cluster. So if you want multi-node cluster where you will be having one control plane and you will be having multiple nodes. So let me delete this. So you have to create a config file your Kind cluster. So you have to. So what I am doing is I am creating a Kind config.yml. Basically, it's a YML file where you will be giving how much of nodes you want, all those things. So let me keep it simple. So I will be writing kind as a no, it's not. I think it's not scap. Yeah, it's a small. It will start with the kind. So basically, we will be using camel casing here, guys. So what is camel casing? While creating the pod, I will show you if you don't know. So kind, we will be having cluster. So basically, it's a type of cluster what we are telling. So next, I will tell API version. So this API version and all while creating the deployment file, we will talk about all these things in detail. As of now, API version is a kind.x. Basically, you have to give this thing kind.x hyphen k8sio slash v1 alpha 4. That's it. So this is the API version for creating the kind cluster. So nodes we will be giving. So here we will be keeping one control plane and two worker nodes. So in the nodes, so as you can see, I will be providing a list of nodes. So role one will be the control plane. So the next one. So I am following the indentation of two spaces here. So after two spaces, I will start a list. So again, role I will be giving worker node. So if you want only one worker node, you can create using add hoc command what I have showed. If you want two or more than two worker nodes, you can go like this. So this is a cluster. It will be created with the one control plane and two worker nodes. So that's it. So using this config, I will create a cluster here. So the command for that is kind. So you can use multiple ways of creating the cluster locally, guys. So what I am showing here is using kind you can create, or you can create cloud native clusters also. But as for the practice, this will be very cost effective and you can do the practice. So kind create cluster hyphen name. So same as it is. So I will be giving the name of the cluster demo cluster. So after that, so what config file I have to use to create this cluster? So basically in the terminal, I will be using hyphen config. So name of the uh, config file, that is basically kind config.yml. So by using that, it will be getting created. So it will take time, guys. It will take some time. So once, yeah. So I have resumed my screen after some time. So as you can see, it's still getting created. So it's basically doing all these things, preparing nodes up to joining worker nodes. So now as you can see, my cluster has been created, which is up and running basically locally. So it's done. So now let me check the nodes with this. So as you can see, cluster has been already created and all those things are configured. Configuration is done. So let me check with the kubectl command. Now I will be using kubectl commands. Basically, I have already installed the kubectl in my local. So as you can see, I am having three nodes. One is the control plane and two are the worker nodes, basically using version 1.34 of your Kubernetes. Yeah, that's it. So this is the nodes. So basically now we are ready with our cluster. We are having nodes. So let me start creating a deployment file for the pod. So basically pod is an object, as we have discussed in the previous video about this in brief. So what is a pod? So let me create the manifest for the pod. So first we will start with API version. Basically, API version defines the Kubernetes API version used to create this resource. For pod, it's always v1. So kind specifies the type of resource you are creating. Here it's a pod. So the metadata. So metadata literally means the data of the data. So in the metadata, what we are going to give, so we will be following the indentation here. We will be following a two spaces. So now in the metadata, we will be having, so basically metadata is a key value pair. So the name here I am giving is as anything I can give. So let me give something like Nginx. So Nginx will confuse you. So basically test pod I will give. So name is basically the unique name of the pod within the particular namespace. So namespace now and all, what are all those things we will be discussing in the upcoming videos also. So as of now, so the label. So label is basically a key value pair. It is used for the identification or grouping, and selectors used for the service deployment. Basically, these are all nothing but a label you will be giving with the name of key value and pair. Here I will be giving app as a key value and the key and the Nginx as value for this. This is particularly for the identification of your pod. So while creating the services and all those things in the upcoming videos, basically the service will identify your pod based on the label what you have assigned to your pod. So in the deployments or service, let's say, and let's understand like this: if a service is there, it has to be include some particular pods. It will be deciding based on the labels. So that is the use of label. So let me start with the spec. Spec is basically defines how your pod should behave and what containers, what image they should use. Everything it is inside the spec. So this now, so inside we will be having the container. So now we will be giving the details of the container, what and all it should be there in a container which we are going to run in this deployment pod file. Sorry. So the container, again, I am following the double spaces here. So now it will be a list. So whenever you see dash, so basically it's a list here. So the container, the so name of the container. So what container we are going to create, it is going to run. It should have a particular name. So I will be giving the name of the container here. So let me give the same test pod. So again, what image I am going to use? Let me write image. So the name of the container is there. So here in the container, which particular image I should run? So as you know, in a pod, you can run more than one containers. So here I will be using an Nginx image here. So basically you can use a image what we have created using Docker for your application, something like that. So that image you can use here. So as of now, what I will be doing, I will be using an Nginx image here. So I will be getting it from the uh, Docker Hub open source. Let me give the name as Nginx and the tag will be the latest. So this is the name of the image followed by the tag of that image. So that is the thing. So next what I will be doing, I will be specifying the ports. So port basically it is for internal thing. So when your application runs, so on which port it should run. So let me give the container port. So the container port I will be giving the container. So the camel casing. So next word I will be starting with the capital letter. So that is the camel casing. So container port I will be giving it as 80. So so that this is the basic manifest for your pod. You will be having multiple things in this. So those things we will be exploring. So as of now, this is the basic thing. So now you can run the pod. So to run the pod, I will be using create the pod. I will be using kubectl. So as of now, let me check the namespaces. So as you can see here, we are having multiple namespaces default, and these all the namespaces you will be using the by the kubernetes, and what and all will be there in those namespaces also we will be going step by step in the upcoming videos. So as of now we will be creating the resources in our default namespace. So let the command is kubectl. So get pods. So basically we don't have any pods. So if you don't give any namespace in the command, it's a default namespace. So for creating the pod, so let me give the kubectl apply hyphen f is the command. Kubectl apply hyphen f. The what is the manifest file we have written? That manifest file testpod.yml. So if you give click enter, the pod will be created here. So if it is if it has gone created, let me check. So k get pods. Okay, so I'm using K here. This thing I will talk afterwards in the ending video. So as of now, ending of the video, as of now, you use kubectl get pods. So as you can see, the container it's getting created. So basically, it's so I have used the watch command also. It was taking some time. So let me check it why it is taking time. So basically it has to get the image and create the container, all those things it has to do. So yeah, so now I have resumed the screen. It has taken almost 2 minutes. There was a no issue, but it was taking time. So as you can see, I have checked the logs also using kubectl logs, the name of the pod. So it's fine. It's started. It's up and running. Okay. So let me check with the uh, previous command, that is, as you can see, it is running. There is a no issue here. Me check again. So kubectl using kubectl get pods. So as I was talking, I was using k. So we have to set alias as k is equal to kubectl in your terminal. So instead of using kubectl every time, you can use k. So that's it. So so you can use k like that. So now it's done. So now what I will be doing, I will be clearing all the resources. I will be clearing the cluster. So as you can see, sorry, a cluster info cluster is there. So now I have to delete the cluster. Sorry. So the cluster, as you can see, so the command to delete the cluster is, so before that I will check the nodes. So nodes are running. So before that, let me check the pods also. So as you can see, your first pod is okay, fine, and it's running. So the command to delete the cluster is kind. So basically, guys, you can delete the pod, and to delete the pod, you have to use kubectl delete hyphen f, the name of the manifest. That also this is a basic command. You can delete it in many ways. We will be talking all those things. So as of now, you can delete the pod and you can recreate the pod using your local images and all those things. So after that, you have to delete the cluster. So the command is kind delete cluster. Okay. So now it will delete the cluster hyphen hyphen name. So the name of the cluster what we have created, that was demo cluster, I guess. Yes, it was demo cluster. Yes. So the demo cluster, the name. So now your cluster will be deleted. So that is it, guys. So the cluster has been deleted. So you can perform your operations in this local Kubernetes cluster without spending any kind of money. So that's a good thing. So we will be talking in detail in the upcoming videos about all those things. Till then, thank you guys. Thank you for watching the video. So keep supporting. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel.